Hello, heroes, and welcome back to The Actuality. This is A Woman with Hollow Eyes, our production, One Shot RPG's production of Invisible Sun, an actual play where these fabulous performers here experience a game that is not even out yet, Invisible Sun. And you are going to see a bit of a development mode first, so get excited for that. And then we jump straight into the action from last week, which was a very highly dramatic scene where a bunch of demons came out at this party. So I'm your host and your GM, Darcy Ross, and why don't we introduce our two characters here right now.
I am James D'Amato. Normally I'm the host of the One Shot podcast, but today on A Woman with Hollow Eyes, I am Calvin Weaver. I am a Vizsla who practices weaving, which is sort of an ethereal, more artistic form of magic where you combine different elements together to form spells. And Calvin is in a bit of a weird situation right now because he has showed up to this party, a party that he coordinated his group to come to because he wants to help his friend Wayne solve a mystery. And somewhere at this party, there is a woman who has pertinent information that may help solve that mystery. But right now, my good friend Kitty Hart is getting attacked by demons that are spilling out of her memories. So it's a bad situation. Calvin is ready to jump into action. I have to ask Darcy a very critical question about this situation. Darcy, is the effect that was on Calvin moments ago where he did not understand his own thoughts still happening?
What did the spell? Oh,
it was an ephemera.
So this was a backer-submitted ephemera.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was lost in one's translation. A person's thoughts are suddenly in a foreign language they don't understand. Let us see. It's level 5. I think you have to work to shake it off. Yeah, I think your thoughts. This is clearly something that was intended to cast on someone else. Calvin brilliantly cast it on himself and won a game doing it. And so now you have to shake off that effect. Excellent.
Perfect. I could not be happier.
Thank you, Solicitor 6, for that ephemera. All right, why don't we introduce our other character?
Hello, I am Alan Linick. I am playing Wayne today, the sort of noir nerd, private investigator type character who is trying to unravel a mystery of some missing memories, but more recently has been tearing it up as the center of the party.
The belle of the ball.
The belle of the ball did some floor dancing, did some parlor tricks, did some casual chatties, and after finally escaping from the clutches of Lucy Bright, Kitty Hart's cousin, who apparently has a crush on me, after finally shaking that loose, I've gotten just in time to see Kitty Hart being abducted, and throughout the course of the party have been secretly spying on both of my friends to keep Kitty out of trouble and to see if, as my suspicions are sort of leaning, if Calvin is trouble himself. And
I feel like that should be very obvious at this point.
It's becoming, based on some bits and pieces Wayne is putting together, he's starting to think maybe there's more going on with Calvin than meets the eye, and even added a character arc as a result, being to learn more about Calvin's past as well. So just a man obsessed with people's histories is Mr. Wayne.
That's what you want in a friend, I think.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we are trying to get to 80 viewers live tonight, and if so, we will get to do a development mode session with an NPC of the audience's choice, which is really cool because we've had some really fantastic NPCs introduced in this game so far. So go tweet some tweets, go bring people to the stream, and we are going to have a little development mode scene here illustrating something we glossed over. So the gang had gotten here to the Pale, to the eternal party in this land of the dead, in this land of spirits and where everything goes to die, even the death of objects and ideas goes to die. But how they had gotten here was this like riverboat ship from Satyrine, the city where they lived, into the Pale. And like what seemed like maybe 4 weeks had passed, although it was a little timey-wimey. And so over the weekend, there is a development mode scene that Calvin and I recorded on the One Shot podcast, the episode that just dropped. But I wanted to know what Wayne was doing during that time. So why don't we let's open up on a scene during that riverboat. So maybe we're like, the camera pauses on this moment of Kitty being grappled by this large lunar moth demon, and then we hard cut back to this serene, beautiful vista of like galaxies and strange like suspended bits of material and rock out in this sea of swirling blue and gray mists on this riverboat. So what were you doing this whole time when you were on that riverboat? Were you?
I think so. As we cut back, we see the sort of edge of the rail of this boat suspended and traveling through time and space. And Wayne is kind of like with one elbow on the rail looking out over the universe, this in-between zone.
What was it called?
You have a word for that now, right?
It's not the void, it's, oh gosh, I can't
Is
remember.
it the dark?
It's not the dark
Okay, it's
either. The ether. Maybe? No.
Oh no, what was the word?
Well, that episode actually
it's clearly
hasn't,
before.
yeah, that hasn't aired yet.
Oh, yeah.
So it's definitely before we have the word for it. But
yeah,
you're staring into
looking
this
out
abyss.
over it, and I think there's two other passengers on the ship, and they're kind of talking to each other and like marveling at the riverboat.
I also, just because we're setting the scene for Wayne, I think there is a jazz band, like just playing a very slow, sort of somber tune in the background. I think they're all giant insects wearing
definitely
wearing hats
and little bow ties.
and little bow ties.
And yeah, there's two kind of people. Maybe they're ghosts. They're ghosts, and they're looking over the edge.
Yeah.
And they're murmuring to themselves. And out of the corner of Wayne's hearing, he hears one of them say, I know we live in a world of magic, but how anyone could deign to make a craft like this, I'll never understand. And Wayne just kind of like the camera kind of like closes in on Wayne, and he just goes, I made this. And then he grumbles off to his quarters to start figuring out and sussing out how to create a craft like the one we're currently on.
Bold, very bold.
Ooh,
Excellent.
I love it.
So we have a sub, so I should introduce what bits and things and your interactabilities are going to be.
Ooh, two subs.
Cool. Oh, nice.
And one's going to Wayne.
All right, so one goes to
Yeah.
Wayne, and
Sistine, tell us who you would like to give a sortilege to.
yes, and so this gives them an extra die to try magical effects weaving into their perhaps mundane roles, which is fun. So those are subs. 200 bits, I believe, is +1 to a venture. 300 it has us redraw a Sooth deck card, which we have very special things for today. So get excited. And that's all we have for right now. Okay, so you stalk off to your quarters, and what do they look like?
My quarters, they're just generic ship quarters, and I have like meticulously reorganized the room.
Right.
It was just like, because it didn't make any sense. Like the bed was like up against the wall, and it was like in a corner of the room.
My favorite part of this, because it's a ship, all of that stuff was 100% bolted down.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So you-
I changed it. I changed it. Well, I was like,
You
why?
improved it.
Just gravity is the easiest thing to just redesign.
Sortilege for
So
Calvin.
let's just do that. So
Yes, I've got.
Great.
I put the bed like towards the middle of the wall, so there's a sort of symmetrical feel to it. I replicated. There was a nightstand, and I was like, well, you can't have only one nightstand, so I replicated a copy of it to the other side of the bed. And the lighting was terrible. It made everything look washed out and like bad. So I did like a real soft. I built a light in the first like couple of hours. I built a light that mimics the position of the sun. So it's just literally this like light that travels along the ceiling and then
Awesome.
sets on the other side. Just kind of try to make it feel a little more homely, because I knew I'd be on this thing for a little while.
Yeah, but then you've got that, is it a pen or what is it that you have your drop down sort of?
It's a ring. So
right.
Wayne wears a glove on his left hand that can, as he pulls it off, transmutes forms into different tools that he may need. And on his right hand, like I am wearing, he has a steel ring that is secretly the pull ring for like a scrolling, I don't know
Like
what you would call
projector
that, like a projector
background.
screen
Yeah.
that has his yarn board of conspiracy theories all over.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's so cool.
So when you go to, do some of the equations or the schematics of how you would build this, like, what does that look like? Do you have journals? Do you, like, or do you just sit and think? Like, what does your process look like? And then we're going to see how well that goes.
I think I spend some of the time studying using a flip on my special glasses, and I go out to the ship and inspect different parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
The like water wheels in particular are of interest to me because they seem like equal parts suspension and like drive power. So curious about that, and also like what's keeping us from just floating out into space or like being able to breathe and all kinds of stuff like that.
Cool. All right, so you're just slowly taking apart the logistics of this problem. Why don't you draw me a card?
I will. It is my card.
Yes!
Gosh darn it.
It is my card.
I love
Are
how
you kidding
often
me?
this happens to this group.
The misremembered dream.
There are a lot of cards in this deck. It is not statistically likely that it comes up as often as it does. So we have a cool new
Well,
Sleuth
thankfully,
Cam.
Invisible Sun is not based on statistics. It's based on magic. And the cards just come up through magic.
Exactly. Excellent. So misremembered dream is the card. And let me pull up its meaning. But it is your card, which suggests to me that you do find some rather important like fact about how this must work. Cool. So interestingly, its meanings are confusion, mistakes, and change in identity, which is your card. Okay, very fascinating. So I think something about the way the ship is built is meant to throw off exactly this kind of analysis, right? So something about the things that aren't adding up because magic. They're adding up because they've been deliberately obfuscated. So you think that something about like it's the steering.
Ooh, can I propose something?
Please.
I'm not able to suss it out as a result of that card draw. I'm not able to suss out how it works, but the design is specific enough that I know who made this boat.
Oh,
Oh,
perfect.
that rules.
Oh, awesome.
I like am on an acquaintance basis with the maker who made this ship.
Awesome.
Living or dead?
It's a good question.
I think I wouldn't know at this point in time. Like, it's been a while.
Yeah, that's true. God, and you can remember them.
Yes.
That's maddening. That's maddening.
Yep.
Oh,
That is very frustrating. Let's figure out which NPC this is real quick. Unless you have a specific idea. I believe it is Quinn Elizondo. This is from Ahsoka Twido. This is a we flash into Wayne's memory of this person. So like, I think about what your last interaction with this maker might be, or if it's just like from reading. But they're a short, darker-skinned person with like their locks pulled back into a ponytail. They're sort of like a stressed-out grad student personality type, kind-hearted but always tired. I feel like that really works for this kind of person. Just like really about being a maker and about the craft, and maybe kind-hearted, but I feel like Wayne probably suspects ulterior motives
one's
to all
kind
of his
for no
kindness.
reason.
So Quinn Elizondo. So
Quinn.
what was the last time you met him, or where did you find out about him?
So Quinn and I worked on a project together to become, to be recognized as a first level maker.
Okay.
So that's
yeah.
like how we both got into this thing.
Whoa, so he's like a cohort of yours.
Yeah. Well, we
Ouch.
were peers for a while.
Yeah.
And there's some jumbliness in the memories for me, but I distinctly remember our relationship turning competitive very quickly, and as a result, we're definitely not enemies, but we don't go out of our way to like be around each other
Yeah.
lest we steal from each other by like just impulse, pure impulse of like inspecting each other's ephemera or like signature objects and stuff, and just like ripping secrets from each other.
Oh,
And
dang.
here you are
Trying
on this boat,
Yeah.
instinctually doing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's it's like something that happens to us all the time. So we, like every maker leaves, there's a part of the process where you get to kind of like sign your work almost.
Yes.
And I've found his signature style.
I'm going to offer you a joy through this GM shift, aside from what joy that may have brought, or despair. I'm not sure. So you have recently learned how to peer through veils of hidden things, right? How to see things that should be invisible. I'm going to say that you're in your room, you're sussing this out, and it's actually there's it either through your room or somewhere else, but you see through something that has been sort of like made invisible, and that like either gives you a thought into like its weakness or one of its inner workings. Like you gain some sort of deep knowledge of this by like literally looking through something he made invisible. So what did he make invisible?
So
Was this his signature or?
The secret to the ship is that there's no power source that is even remotely feasible to like make something like this work for an extended period of time.
Okay.
So there is a goetic influence here that is basically there's like in effect like a hamster in a wheel making this thing go. But there's some entity that I'm not good enough with goetic stuff to know exactly what it is, but I can tell like, oh, this is where you'd put the thing that powers this ship.
A demon or angel powered sunship.
Yeah,
Functionally.
and I think specifically the joy from this probably comes from like, if Quinn made this, not only can I make it, I can make it better.
Awesome.
Of like, just the total self-assurance of like.
So now you just need to break into the engine room, it sounds like. See what it is.
That might be what I do next.
Yeah, absolutely.
God.
Yeah. Should we do that? Should we leave that there though?
Let's
and come
leave
back
that
to
there.
Let's leave that there.
I feel like we want to incubate on that a
We'll
little bit.
visit that another day.
Excellent. Do you share any of this information with your friends or
I think I casually I find Calvin a couple of days later, and I'm like, so you like this ship?
What? Yes.
You do?
I do.
You want one?
Yes, I do.
All right, I'll make one.
Are you serious?
Yeah, sure.
This is so exciting.
Where would you go? I mean, if you had a vessel to anywhere, where would you go?
I mean, look at that. And Calvin sort of gestures up to this vacuous space that is just filled with debris of half-formed worlds.
Huh. Want to make your own place, huh?
I mean, I kinda.
Interesting.
I mean, I want to understand what's up there, Like, I was talking to this woman, very, very nice, the storyteller on the ship, and she just had some fascinating things to say about how all this stuff works.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well. Okay. I'll get started.
Well, that's great. That's great. Is there anything that I can do to help?
No. Please don't.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I put that information in my back pocket of trying to escape, trying to build his own world, what's he trying to do? This is, part of a very casual probing investigation.
Perfect. And both of these characters seem very interested in, I could do it better right now about, the logistics of very, very high-powered stuff.
Making one of these would also solve my travel to the Blue Sun problem.
It really would.
Oh,
So-
yeah. You just have a ride.
Yep. So I'm now very interested in trying to reverse engineer the ship and
Perfect.
improve on the method.
Excellent. I think I'm going to award you a despair for
Sweet.
finding yourself within the very powerful achievement of your peer. You had already gotten the joy of finding out something that he's kept hidden about how it is a hamster wheel powered functionally, and how you could certainly do better. And Calvin, I think I'm going to give you a joy because of now what you should all know, audience, that I'm not sure if all of you know, is that Calvin has been thinking about building his own half-world, and you played right into it, not knowing that.
Wow.
So
I didn't
I
know
couldn't
that.
believe you were doing that.
Well, I figured it out.
Invisible Sun is magic.
And what's he want to do in that freak world? Weird bird world that he wants to build.
It probably is a weird bird world.
I've got ideas.
Which, by the way, I believe... No, Misremembered Dream is full of rats, right?
I believe
But
it is
it
rats.
is a ship. Is there a ship in the sky? Or am I making that up?
Kind of looks like it. There's certainly something floating through, half-formed. There's portals to places.
Rat portals, mostly, it looks like. Just a bunch of rat portals.
Who doesn't love a good rat portal? All right. And then I think we're going to shortly here come back in on the party, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that was a development mode scene, but so where were you guys? So you were off. So you were playing Agamemnon Butler, our beloved Spider-Man academic puppeteer,
Memory thief.
Memory
man.
dealer.
Yeah, memory dealer.
He would hate to be called a thief.
That is very not his style. But you had just been sweeping Lucy Bright off of her feet on the dance floor. But where had you gone after? Had you gone to find Calvin?
I think I've been like making the rounds of important people to
Excellent.
kind of like do the niceties thing, but also to try to like get some information on Victoria and
Yeah.
when we can be expecting her. I think at this point I'm like, all right, I've done all my party obligations, and I'm running out of energy for like extroversion stuff. So I'm just trying to figure out where she's at and get this over with as quickly as possible.
All right, let's see what magical current is currently flowing through our party here. The Questing Knight. It is
almost Calvin's card.
Almost Calvin's card, exactly.
Was it almost
That was
your
my
card?
second choice.
So that is Kitty's card. So when she gets here, she will be enhanced. Let's see, and that is the Apprentice. Oh, nope. When Kitty gets here, she will have a -1 to her.
Wait, that's her card?
No.
Yeah. Oh, no.
No, her
It's
card's
her
the
heart.
devil.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's her family, though. Cool. All right, so
Her card is.
I think, as we come into the Pale, which has this eternal party is on the shore of this big, expansive lake, and but the party is sort of happening in this tiered marble space with these huge marble columns sort of leading up into nowhere, and there's balconies and there's music playing and there's a whole dance floor and little parties and games happening all around. Lots of very brightly colored people. Those are the living who are marking themselves via cosmetics and things to be polite and signal themselves as a living guest in the space of the dead. So I think the energy in the room has been shifting all night, right? It was their sort of general jovial nature, and then you had changed the music to play something a little more intimate, and so dancing had happened. Yay, new sub! Tell us who you want to give a cool benefit to, a sortilege die.
Right now, Kitty has not gotten one. It's
true. Kitty could use one.
A potential choice. Triple U.
Yeah. And so the party had gotten very intimate, and then there was sort of the whole event with Agamemnon Butler and the lecture, and then Kitty was sort of being examined, and all of a sudden a flock of what seems like demons and other strange, horrible beasts started portaling sort of through her. And so they are causing mass chaos currently in this party. I think the whole energy of the place has stopped. Kitty has been swept up into the many multiples of wings of this big moth demon called Imago, and is sort of, the wings are sort of all lifted up so you can't see, but her head with her long antennae are sort of speaking to Kitty inside. But to everyone else, Kitty's just enveloped within this enormous demon. There are several others that are sort of flying out. What do you guys do when you immediately notice that the whole temperature of the room has changed, and there's a whole flock of demons heading out at you? So Calvin was off.
So Calvin, I believe, because he did that contest, and he's now in a very interesting place, sort of psychically. It's almost like he's on some kind of very strange drug trip, because right now he can't think.
Yeah.
He can't understand any of the thoughts that he has. So he's operating purely off of instinct. And I was sort of basing what his reaction was going to be off of the card that got pulled. And I don't feel like Questing Knight is a negative card so much.
No.
So I think Calvin started dancing because he's he's at this party and he can't think. All he has is like sort of raw emotion and reaction. So that's perfect for the dance floor.
Excellent. So while like total chaos is happening, there's maybe a couple other entities that are just dancing, and you channel that all into dancing. Excellent. So you are swirling across the dance floor. What are you doing?
I think I'm gonna try running straight for Kat.
Okay, cool. So she's pretty far away. So why don't you make me a? So basically, there are some like really squat demons with like almost no neck and little torsos, but long, weird, too many legs.
They're in the way?
They are definitely in the way. That's sort of the flock of demons that are going your way. A number of them have eye stalks that are sort of wobbling around horribly, and they're sort of terrorizing people around you. They just seem to, their intent seems to be mass chaos at the moment.
Okay.
So you've got to either dodge around them or do something to deal with it.
Do they seem, as I approach, do they seem like they're stopping, like to block me off? Or are they just everywhere?
At least one of them sort of moves to intercept you.
Okay. I'm going to flip my glove off and turn it into a fingerless glove that goes down over my other hand. So just like flipping it over to reveal my fingertips of light, which are currently active. They turn my hands into level 3 weapons usable against ghosts, spirits, and demons.
God,
I thought I'd be fighting ghosts,
right.
but turns out still effective.
Excellent.
So I just basically run straight at it and like grab its face with both of my hands.
Excellent. So you're going to give me a roll. This is probably going to be an accuracy roll as you're trying to like dexterously get to it, right?
Yep. Here we go.
So looking for, I'll tell you the level.
Great.
It's 4. So
6.
okay, excellent. So so you make contact with, where are you aiming? It's
Just
sort of got a lot of face. There's sort
lot
of
of face?
It's got a lot of face. It's got long legs, and then it's just got basically almost no torso. So long legs, big weird head, and then
I think just like I'm trying to palm its face like a basketball.
okay, palm its face like a basketball. Yep. Excellent.
That's right. Grab yourself a big scoop, Wayne.
All right, how much damage do you do?
3 points of damage by touching it.
3 points of damage. Excellent. So this thing does not like that one bit. You have wounded it, but it is still going. So what does it look like? So its face, which is sort of like purple and weird and mottled skin. You touch it, and so your fingertips are full of light, you said?
Yeah, there's individual markings like runes on each of my fingertips that just shine with this
kind
like
of sizzle?
radiant. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So it starts screeching, this like piercing noise. But you definitely injure it pretty good. It doesn't like that at all, and so it's going to start trying to like pry you off of it. Are you trying to hang on, or were you just touching it and letting
I'm
go?
hoping that it'll like the pain will make it recoil so I can scoot past
You're just
it.
trying to get yourself an opening. Cool. I would say that is distracting it enough to give you an opening.
Great.
So
just still running for Kitty.
yeah, so you can make me a quick like movement roll to see
got it.
how far you can get, kind of.
Another 6.
Another 6. That die is totally weighted. Excellent. That's a really good roll. So I think you're able to get, like, next round you'll be able to move and get to her.
Okay.
So you're sort of still fighting through, and part of what's keeping you back is that there's still like party goers that are sort of in the way and getting in all sorts of directions, and there are these like long sort of pretty like veils and curtains that were hanging from these columns that are just getting tangled into everything. So that you're sort of like having to dodge out of that, and so it's a dynamic field. You maybe catch out of the corner of your eye, Calvin, just dancing up a storm.
Dancing up a storm.
Hell.
Poor Wayne. All right.
Calvin, please.
It's not my turn in initiative yet. And
I
also,
know.
I can't think.
Oh, buddy.
All right, so I think you're still being talked to by Imago and sort of grappled at the moment.
Yep.
So let's see what one of the demons is. So, like, you are making a stir. You are not being subtle at all, and you're one of the few people to initially sort of take action against these demons. So, someone comes to approach you. It is, let's see, this one. This is Arokesh, who I don't know that you have seen before. but
Arokesh
Kitty
looks like you, right? Yeah. Is
has no true form,
Yeah?
exactly.
Oh.
So they appear as a mirror copy of whoever looks at them. They
Oh, we
sound
have met
different.
Arokesh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was the first demon that we summoned.
they helped us get into the library.
Yep. It's from Richard Dresden. So Arokesh appears, and there must be some, like, you see this thing sort of like wobble a bit, and you can already kind of see past illusions, so you know immediately it looks like you, but is not you. So Arokesh is going to come try to, you basically get a copy of yourself pulling at you really hard from
What
behind.
a nightmare.
Why don't you give me some kind of, I think it's going to be a withstand roll
Okay.
as it's trying to pull you into its grasp.
I would like to
So,
spend a
Arokesh.
sortilege on this.
Okay,
Oh,
lovely.
and I have another one as well. 'Cause I
Perfect.
got one earlier. So that's a 6.
That is a 6.
That's
okay.
3 6s in a row. No big deal.
Oh.
Excellent. So 6 is just good enough. So you will get that. So you're sort of able to like get past Arakesh's grasp, but you hear a hiss and something comes flying out at you.
Uh-oh.
The Arakesh sends out this effect, and small inanimate objects in a small area around you start attacking everyone in that area.
Ah!
They fly through the air, sprout claws and toothy mouths, or otherwise viciously assail all in the area, who suffer 4 points of damage. So let's see. This is going against you. So give me a. This is like a physical check.
So what do these things look like? Just objects?
Yeah. So what's around? What do we think?
Okay.
You know.
Punch bowl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely a punch bowl.
Like decorative, like food? Like
Oh, lots of food.
yeah,
right.
food out there is all becoming. Oh God, this is horrifying. So yeah, a bunch of food just like sort of gets up and starts attacking different party
Yeah.
guests.
Oh, instruments.
Instruments,
Yes.
absolutely.
This is like that scene in Beauty and the Beast where they finally break open the castle doors and
Yeah.
they think it's just furniture.
It's much more horrible than that, but yes, it's exactly that. And so, luckily, a lot of people have sort of fled from this area, but not everybody. And the musicians are sort of nearby, and so they're sort of having this Titanic moment of, do we go down with the ship? Are we allowed to leave our posts? We're already dead, but this is a really horrible situation.
Is it the French horn that like sort of loops around you?
Yeah.
I feel
Oh,
like
no.
that starts constricting that person.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Oh.
This is more like a Nightmare Before Christmas, where all
Yes.
the toys
Yeah.
are starting to like assail everybody. So that starts happening. You, I don't know if you get. I think you get a very high level resistance defense from this. So I don't think you have any skills in that. Do you?
No.
No. Why would you do
This
that?
isn't my deal.
We're learning.
We are learning. Defenses.
Oh,
So
boy.
make me a roll. This is
Okay.
going to be a dodge defense, right? Because you're just physically trying to get out of the way of all of these animated little bows of like stringed instruments are flying out at you. I'm imagining they have like this like serrated teeth sort of coming out of all of the
Yeah.
wood of the bow.
Okay.
Are you spending sortilege?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart.
And if I wanted to spend a bene here, what would that
It would be
look
a
like?
movement bene.
I will spend it.
Yeah, dodge out of that thing. You're looking for a 7.
Another 6 with this one is a
With the
7.
bene. All right. Okay. Perfect. So you do not take 4 points of damage, which is a lot.
That is a lot.
Cool. This ephemera is called "The Souls of the Things We Ignore," which is just heartbreaking and beautiful. All right. So Arokesh is very, very like angry, but seems to be,
and
like
Arokesh did this to me?
Arokesh did this to you. You do notice that like. This is a lot of demons that don't usually operate in conjunction together. Actually, you may not know that. You may
Yeah.
be personally
I don't know
offended that Arokesh is working with this guy, whoever did this. All right, so Arokesh is mad, but you're still running past him. So let's cut to Kitty.
Sounds good.
So Imago is apologizing to you but is still starting to, grasp at you with all of these little wings, and seems to be trying to have some effect on you.
Yeah. As soon as I noticed this happening, I cast an ephemera.
Ooh, what?
I cast the Hourglass of Honesty.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So I just grab I make the motion of grabbing a necklace from around my neck and put it around Imago's neck. And I say, sorry, right back. So long as you tell the truth, nothing bad's gonna happen to you. And if you don't, you're gonna get knocked right out of the fight. So no worries. Who's doing
There's
this to
sort
you?
of big moth eyes blink at you.
Yeah. Who's doing this to you?
First you're gonna have to withstand.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I'll make a withstand, and then we can explain what
Perfect.
happens with the ephemera.
Excellent. Okay, so give me a roll.
Yeah.
Let's see. I believe the pronouns are she, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So okay, Imago is having an effect on you. It's a spell effect, so you're gonna want to. And this is since it's a magical effect that she's about to try to do to you, you're gonna need 2 successes, and this is a level 8 creature.
Okay.
And you're at -1 because of the card.
Okay.
So sorry. This
Yeah.
is gonna be very hard.
Rough.
So what is this that I have to make?
You're gonna be rolling. It is going to be a resist defense.
Resist defense, and I have to score right now at an 8 -1, so a 9 that I have to make, or worse.
Yes.
I have to make a 9.
Unless you have some other stuff.
I
You
have
2 resist.
2 resist.
Great.
So I only have to make 7.
Yep.
But that's still pretty high
2 7s. You have to spend a sortilege to even have a hope,
to even, yeah.
unless you just take whatever effect this is.
No,
but you're fighting it.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight it. What else do I put
We
in?
have Punquility gave
Punquility,
some
helping out.
+1 venture.
Thank
so
you
you
so
only have to
much.
make a 6 on each die roll, which
Okay.
is huge.
Okay, let's.
Still really rough.
Okay.
You can also spend hidden knowledge.
Hidden knowledge.
And this makes a lot of sense since you know Imago.
Yes.
So you know some sort of the way she works.
I
or
absolutely
something.
will. What is a hidden knowledge?
It is. There's
I
some
mark it off
pools
correctly.
somewhere on your front.
There it is.
Yeah.
I have the 12 hidden knowledge, so
Yep.
I will get that down to
So,
11.
Cool. So we're down to 5s. So what secret did you You have to kind of narrate some cool thing you learned about her, or learned about the kind of effect that's about to happen.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the scales that she has.
Yes.
That different wings have different types of poison.
Oh,
So
cool.
seeing the which one she's activating,
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh shoot, and grab the headscarf that I have off to cover my mouth.
Perfect. Excellent. So we need 2 5s.
Okay. An 8 and a 2.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So it's it almost starts working, but then you feel the effect of her sort of incapacitation
Yeah.
poisons starting to maybe it's those little scales sort of pierce wherever they're touching you.
That's perfect.
And so you feel yourself. You're going to be at have a scourge in all of your certs pools.
Okay.
So basically, it's going to be harder to spend points from those pools.
Okay.
And, in addition to doing other bad things. You guys are going to be hurt this battle. Sorry.
No.
I'm very worried about TPK.
Can I go?
I think you can still ask her. You're just way
Yeah,
more,
that makes sense. And
okay.
I should let you know what it is.
Yes.
So the Hourglass of Honesty. This was submitted by Tech Dude TX.
Yay.
It's the form of a silver necklace with a small black hourglass filled with amethyst sand. When worn, the hourglass that flows upwards of the hourglass flows upwards if the bearer tells the truth, and downwards if they lie. If the sand fully ends in the top, the wearer is saved from further effects, but if they fall all the way to the bottom, the wearer passes out.
Wow.
Awesome. God, that rules.
It really
That
That
does
is
rule.
really cool.
Yeah.
So I think as you get sort of affected by this thing, but you still push through and are able to sort of
We'll
put
be
it
able to
over
have a
her.
conversation.
Yeah. Excellent. Do you want to get one quick question off? So you want?
Yeah,
you
so I
had,
asked her, who's doing this to you?
the one you sent me after. And our old friend Daniel McPherson.
Daniel McPherson.
And she looks particularly pained when she says that. So, new round, New Sooth card. Oh,
Round.
You danced.
oh, you danced. Unless, were you doing something other
Yeah,
than
I was going to do dancing?
something.
something with that dance.
Oh, tell me what you're doing with this dance.
Okay, so this fella has
Yeah.
summoned. What level was that ephemera that you used that summoned those
5.
creatures? Level 5. Perfect. So then I need to, in my head, be able to have an effect that would summon a level 5 creature, which would be a level 8 spell I'm going to be casting. So I'm going to spend 2 from my sorcery, just for the privilege of casting this spell. I will be using a sortilege die for this. This isn't affecting me at all, is it?
Nope.
Okay. So, level 8. I'm gonna take 3 from the sorcery pool. So I need 5s, right? I
Yes.
need a 5. Okay. So Calvin is acting purely on instinct, and he is dancing right now. But he sees this scene in front of him, though he doesn't have like the mental capacity to like process what's going
Yeah.
on. So he's incorporating that into his dance, like the emotions that he's feeling. And he is going to take fear from Thunder, and he is going to take movement from Freedom, and he is going to channel his fear into breaking the hold that these demons have over these like objects, and force them to attack his enemies instead of his friends.
Super cool.
So we're gonna see if this works. Son of a gun.
Uh-oh.
Is that a flex?
It's not a flex,
Okay.
but it is one away. If someone wants to drop 200 on this, that will still work.
It's begging. Oh man. Okay.
I did spend 5 from my sorcery pool to try and do that.
Interesting. So you spent 5. I think that adds to your.
Oh.
Got it.
Oh,
okay.
perfect.
Yeah.
I forgot about the. Well, no, that was including my adding because.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I needed to hit 8.
Right. That makes sense. Yep. Okay. Thank you, Punquility. You're amazing.
Thank you, Pun.
Okay. So how does it almost not work? So what? So I mean, your magic is really unstable all the time. So what is? Tell us what this looks like.
Yeah, I think like Calvin is just dancing, but
Yeah.
he's dancing and grabbing the threads as he dances. And so
Cool.
like he's taking these things and weaving them together, but he's also sort of caught up in the emotion of this performance. And it's hard to tell whether this is an actual spell. Like Calvin
Yeah.
loses control of things all the time. Because he's focusing on them and he's
Yeah.
working at it, but this is something that he's doing subconsciously as part of his self-expression, as part of his dance. So he's not paying full attention to what he's actually doing, and there are times where the effect like looms in and then wanes out and looms in, but finally like he ends in this like pose where he's shaking and sweating and breathing heavily, and he has like sort of like a cat's cradle, strings of freedom and inky black strings of fear wound all over the room, controlling each of these tiny objects like puppet strings. And after that pose, like he begins to sway and dance again, and like they slowly turn and then move towards these demons.
Cool.
Recreating, I believe, the same effect of dealing 4 damage to everything in a small area.
I would like to give you some despair.
Yes.
Because as you're doing this, you're whirling, and that stream of demons is sort of still coming out. It's more of a sputter now, but there are still things sort of like stepping out of impossible corners, right? Out of nothing, right? Sort of the effect almost seems to be spreading out from where Kitty is. That there's sort of a field where things are sort of stepping out, and there's an angel and there are angels here now that look horribly. They're walking very stuttered, and they seem to be wrapped in some kind of magical, almost barbed wire, right? And so the things that you identify as the enemies are these bound angels that your things are starting to attack, which is just heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah.
So there is one that is a cross between a lion and a dog. The body is made of earth and the mane of moss. This beautiful glowing orbs of spiraling orange light. This like big protective, like large cat, basically, right? This large carnivore, at least, is just horribly like bound, and your items start attacking it and sort of piling up on it, which is it's giving a big roar about. So that is sad, but it is still an enemy of yours. It's just sad. Okay, so let's see. Are you gonna try to break out of the effect of the?
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Cool.
Because I don't know how many more
I think it's
instinct-based actions I can justify.
Yeah. So it's going to be a resist, and it's going to be difficulty 5.
Resist based on.
It is based on, I believe that is intellect,
Damn.
but I could be
The
wrong.
one I didn't put points into.
Do you want to borrow one of my intellects?
Boy, if I could.
You guys can give each other sortilege.
Oh, sortilege. That's true. Well, we've got sortilege for days
Spend
right
some
now.
sortilege.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna spend some sortilege.
You can also
and
get flux that way.
I will spend an intellect point. Hey, you know I want flux.
Cool.
Son of a bitch.
You should make that your flux die.
Yeah. So I rolled the 2.
Wow. Okay.
Hi. I'm not rolling well right now.
I mean, you're just like caught within this torrent of emotions and
Yeah.
and possibly the horror or not understanding what you just did of sending your things at a guardian spirit.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if I said who gave us that super cool goetic summoning. That's Adam Swangler. So thank you. The Walker of the Valley. I hope we can rescue them because
me
he
too.
sounds really cool. All right, so new turn. Okay, so we are in this chaotic battle. I have just pulled the card Unknowable Truth. It is enhancing our dear friend Wayne here.
Okay, good, because I got big plans.
You got
for
big
this
plans.
round.
Shall I show our dear audience since we got this cool thing?
If you want to, there you go, yeah.
Can they see?
That's perfect right where it is.
Great. Unknowable Truth. So what are you doing? You got plans.
So, out loud to myself, I say, okay, Spoon Wayne, you remember
No.
that promise?
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I remember.
it's time to cut loose, big guy. And while I'm talking to him, I shift one of my spyglasses down,
my.
and I lock onto Imago.
Imago.
And I'm going to use it to peer into her mind.
Oh, no.
And I am going to use one of my forte abilities that I have been just chomping at the bit to use.
I am so excited about what's about to happen.
I'm
I'm
spending
terrified.
8
Poor Imago.
sorcery,
Yes!
then a
My friend.
to cast or to I'm sorry.
Wait,
I
do you
am
have the secret that lets you?
scrambling mind? It costs
just
7 to
costs
cast,
that.
and I'm adding an extra.
Oh, brother.
And with forte abilities, you can just dump all your stuff into
And
it.
I'm dumping. So I'm using Scramble Mind, which allows me to modify the memories of a creature that I
Yeah.
can see. And I'm just basically picking at I pull my glove back off, and it turns into what kind of looks like a screwdriver, but that kind of disappears into transparency at the end. And I just start quickly tweaking memories and ripping stuff apart. And I'm going to tweak Imago's memory of her summoning so that she remembers that she's been summoned to protect Kitty from everything that's happening around her right now.
So you're
That
trying to
Cool.
change
is
the pact,
I'm
Functionally.
trying to change
but her memory of it. Yeah.
Right, I'm trying to alter her memory of the pact that she is currently under.
Awesome.
Is this like done via Spoon Wayne eating?
No,
Like
that's
shoveling-
just a physical thing that's happening.
Okay.
So I'm letting Spoon Wayne kind of take control of my body while I focus in on this.
So
mental
what is
thing.
it doing to your body right now? So you're focusing
So
on
he's
I think my
taking,
hands
yeah.
literally like crack and distort, and my hands kind of
God.
like turn into these
Horrible spoons.
like shovel hands.
And he's because they hurt demons, he's just like sticking them into demons and shoveling their flesh into his mouth
Oh.
greedily.
Yeah, that's happening.
That's hideous. You guys are monsters. I am still going to need a roll because although Imago is level 8, she has a little bit of resistance for this sort of thing.
Great.
She usually has +2. I'm only going to give her +1, so you just have to hit ones.
I just have to hit ones. 2 ones? I mean, come on.
Oh, so you can't fail even with that, right?
Why?
You're guaranteed to have.
Because I added
at
an
least,
extra one?
Oh, but you can roll a 0.
I could roll, if I roll,
Yeah.
basically if I roll a flux is the
Yeah.
only way this goes south.
Oof. Come on, come on, come on.
Nope.
Wayne's hot tonight.
I'm gold.
I mean, you're shoveling horrible demons into your mouth. Okay. So you start. So yeah, you're seeing like the threads of memory, the webbing of their
Yes.
memory with your goggles, perhaps.
Yeah.
All right, and so other things you see while you're sort of in her mind web is she has a spell she was getting ready to use that is the target forgets the last 10 minutes. So she is actually another creature of like intense memory manipulations. So you sort of got in there right when you needed to.
Yeah.
So, but you like pull apart you like part the curtains of that memory, right? Of her being told what to do. And so what do you replace it with? So and do you take the time to look at it? Because that will cost you time if you want to like know what that
No,
looks
I don't
like.
think I have time for
Yeah.
that. So I'm just replacing it. So it's like the parameters. She basically remembers it as like being summoned, Daniel McPherson summoning her and being like, there's going to be an attack on Kitty Hart at this party.
Oh,
You'll
wow.
see, and I describe, like I use the
Yeah.
memory to describe everything that she's actually seeing to make it feel more real.
Wow.
It's like, you're going to see this and this and this. Protect Kitty at all costs. I
Super
have
cool.
my reasons, etc., etc.
Awesome. So you tinker that and you sew her back up or let that web snap shut.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like those scales that all have been digging into you retract quickly. And I think her head like flashes up and her antennae, her big, beautiful, feathery, branched, fluffy antennae, sort of like spring up and she starts unfurling many of her outer layers of wings. So 2 of the innermost wings are still sort of enveloped around you, but they've clearly taken on a more defensive stance. And she sort of looks up and looks ready to do stuff. So everything in her body posture has changed. I don't think you can see, maybe you do see Wayne as or are you behind her head? Where are you located?
I'm
You're sort of-
shoveling demon flesh.
Never
on
mind,
my
yeah,
face.
you don't look at
Yeah.
all like that's what you're doing.
Yeah, not at all.
So you have no idea why.
Okay.
No, I think my head is like locked on and I have the one
Yeah.
lens on and then just like it's just like like viscera like splashing.
Yeah, so
across
that's
and
pretty horrible.
Like a grand slam.
So good, so good.
Yeah, I think
Gosh.
I think like if you're eating demons, I think you have to take at least a wound.
Yeah, that makes
Like
sense.
I feel like you are not in control of your body. You don't even really get a defense against that. You are putting in
Yeah.
horrible demons into your
That's
body.
deeply fair.
Yep. Super cool.
It is unsettlingly fair, I would say.
The night is young. All right, so that's what you're doing.
Yep.
What about you two? Who's got an action for me?
Well, I still have a bunch of questions for her
Yes.
until I figure out.
Cool.
you know.
Let's.
So,
yeah. We can sort of fire off a couple questions in action time.
why'd you stop attacking me?
Attack you? I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. I'm here to protect you. You're in grave danger. Come, Kitty. She starts trying to like take you away, but
Hold on.
Wait, question.
Yeah.
Is that a lie?
no, because she thinks.
Because she thinks.
oh,
you know?
that's a good question.
So I can
God,
see the
that's very-
that's great. So I see the thing start to fill
Yeah.
up. Okay. So who summoned? Wait, who gave you the instruction to protect me?
Why you did?
And that's
That-
still a
also-
lie.
Kitty,
No,
don't
this is
Knock
very
her out.
useful.
Do not knock her out.
No, but it's not going to fill up completely. It should like give me like a minute or so.
So those are lies, right?
right. That's a
Because-
lie too. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Oh man.
Back to my original thought process then. But like, can I go through the whole thing? Can I have my full minute? Can we
Yeah,
just do
you
it?
can have
Thank
your
you.
minute,
That's perfect. The demons that Daniel McPherson summoned to fight me, did he summon them all as one group? Was that one assail like summon? Okay. What did he? And that's
I don't think that is a lie, right?
right. Yeah, that's,
that's
a true,
true,
right? It's up to you if he
I think
summoned
it's
them
true.
individually or as a group.
It's a group.
It's a group. Okay, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
What is the consequences if they should fail?
We can't fail.
Okay. Does that have anything to do with all of the sausages in his shop? Is that what's going on there?
The binding happens there.
Okay. All right. Okay. Are you? Did he have anyone else
She's like
involved?
getting increasingly irritated.
Yeah.
And
Sure, I got you. Okay, we're gonna go with someone very soon. I promise that. I really do. Does that have? Did he have anybody else involved with the summons, or was it just him?
he has a team.
He has a team. Okay. Okay. Great. Could you go with me right now to find what's his face? What is his face?
Gabriel Kincaid.
Gabriel Kincaid. Gabriel Kincaid. Let's go right now and find Gabriel Kincaid. Okay, Imago?
Imago like bodily kind of stiffens you by the shoulders and says, "Will Gabriel Kincaid help you escape?"
Yes.
Then I will allow it. She sort of unfurls and they start sweeping through the dance floor. Gabriel Kincaid is very easy to see as he's up on a balcony and he's got like several summoning circles that all have like fire, and like have all been sort of almost shelled out. And there's like several summoned, conjured beings. He's sort of Gandalf coming over the hilltop, right? He's like got his own
he's
army.
Doing great.
He's doing great. He is hard to get to though.
Yeah.
But
sorry, sir.
so you want to get there? I think Imago will pick you up and fly
and
you
take
over.
us to him.
Yeah.
Great. So we pop up like next to him, and she's grabbing me, and then I grab him by the shoulders, and I'm like, "Sorry, sir, we need to steal you."
He looks at the bit of like blood that's coming out of all of your fancy clothing because where the scales had pierced, and he says, "Well, miss, I'm doing fine. I'll have you notice. Do you need assistance?"
Very much so.
Takes his sortier and fires off some horrible like conjured snake that sails across and.
No, very